What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you all again. I just wanted to pop in. We have an updated FTD list. It's not too far out, so all we can do is examine the information that we have. If that sounds like something you're interested in, hit the like button. I'll get into the information. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. Alright, so we're back with the FTD list. We like to look at it and compare it to the charts because we don't just want to scream manipulation or criminal activity. If there's a chance that maybe we can look at the charts and understand it a little bit better. But if it is manipulation or criminal activity, then we want to look at the charts and be able to confirm our bias. So let's look at the charts and see what's going on. What we have right here is basically where it really bulked up. June 15th is whenever the fail to delivers were really starting to mount up, pile up right there. And this was when they were trying to settle the trade. So we know that that's a T+2 normally is whenever they would have to clear their books or settle their books, make sure that everything makes sense. So we're probably looking at this in hindsight. So 2 days before that would be June 13th. What happened on June 13th? Well, you can see the box right there at the far left corner. That is June 13th. We know what Redbox was doing on June 13th. It was absolutely pumping. So it would make sense that the fail to delivers would be piling up there if there were some sort of naked shorts that were coming into the play. Maybe, who knows? Could be options, could be long positions, could be short positions, can be just about anything that it wants to be. We don't know because they don't classify them in a certain way, so we have no idea what exactly they are. But what we can do is look at the charts and see what happened in the charts, and maybe that would tell a little bit of the story. So what happened from June 13th, where these started to pile up on the FTD list on June 15th? Well, we can see just red candle after red candle after red candle. So we know that it was also heavily shorted at that time, beyond the float more than likely. Even the exchange reported interest was high at that point. So we know that there was probably some naked shorting out there. Can we prove it? I don't know if we can prove it or not. But my thoughts is yes, that was probably the case. But then we do see coming in here in June 15th that there was some buying activity that went in. So is there any difference between, now we're looking at this 2 days behind, so we got to look at the FTD chart 2 days further, June 15th to June 17th. So what's happening on the FTD list on June 17th? It's actually came down, right? Now we're at 2.2 million instead of the 3.2 million. So was there possibly some covering? Yes. There absolutely was probably some sort of covering that went on here because we see the FTD list come down and we see the charts going back up. So it would make sense that that number was able to come down between June 15th and June 17th because of what we see on the charts from June 13th to June 15th. Now it's hard because we always get this information so delayed that we just have really no idea what's going on in a play that we're involved in, and it's not right and it's not fun, but that's the way that we get treated. We're retail. So from there, what happens? Well, we had expirations on June 17th. So could some of this have been covering that was leading up to this, and then some of that be in the options chain? Yeah, I think absolutely that could have been the case. And then from there, though, we see the FTDs, they start to pile up again. So it's coming down. It's not crazy amounts this time, right? 600,000 roughly is what we're looking at, a change whenever that came in. So it's coming down. They added up a little bit of FTDs, but they quickly resolved those. And we see a couple of little pops. So there is a green candle pop here where some of that covering could have went in. 6/24 is also a Friday, so we see another little green pop. We got the options chain. Some of those could have been buried in there for sure, or taken care of, resolved in the options chain. And looking at the numbers now that we have as of 6:30, which would put us around 627 on the charts, 628 on the charts, we are just in the dark again. So what happened really from these areas? I mean, we can explain this. We see the heavy fail to delivers. We see the fail to delivers go down. Then we see more fail to delivers kind of get added in and subtracted out in this period here. It was almost kind of, relatively flat overall. I mean, it did, make a little bit of a move, but you can see the numbers aren't too drastic for the most part. And then on those Fridays, they kind of take that jump down. So are they doing some covering in the options chain? They probably could have been. Now, what we don't know is basically anything that goes on from where that last box is to where we are now. So what would we think would be going on somewhere around here? Possibly some more naked shorting, right? We're probably going to see these FTDs spike again in the next report. I mean, it went up slightly on June 30th, which should have still been reported up to here. So we should have had reports on this. It went up 100,000 as far as we know. And from there, could it have been covered again, repeated, covered again, and now repeated again to drive those puts that we know that they wanted into the money? Now, having those puts in the money down here, is that going to resolve all of their issues? I don't know if it will or not, but there's a good possibility that it could. So that's where my thinking is. We're not going to probably get much more on the FTDs in a timely fashion. What was this? This is almost a month late, 3 weeks to a month late. Are we going to get an update by August 8th or 9th? Maybe. I'd have to pull out a calendar and see just how far behind we are. But overall, I mean, I think we can explain this box. In this box, this is the unknown. This is where we are. This is why it's hard to be retail, because you just don't know what's truly going on or what is out there, what's covered, what's real, what is the honest truth in the charts, in the FTDs. We just don't know. But looking at the numbers, I think we can explain what we have, with those last 2 weeks, 15 days, whatever we have. So let's look at what's going to go on today. I have not even looked at how pre-market is opening up. Oh, it's still respecting the 5-0 line on the fib retracement. So as long as this holds as support, I want to see us break out and above the 618 number. Where is that price range at? So right about $5. I would call it a psychological $5 range. It's sitting at roughly $4.96. I think if it can get out and hold above that $5, that would be a really nice move. It's just going to be bit by bit as far as what I think is going to really happen, unless somebody gets in here and just starts going crazy and trying to drive it back up. We'll just have to kind of watch and see, but it is gradually floating its way back up. It's got a slow, steady trend line. Now that we have a little bit more time on the charts, let's actually put a new trend line out there and see just how smooth this is going to be. So, I mean, yeah, all in all, we would like to see a little bit stronger trajectory. I'm sure maybe hold a little bit tighter, but if we can just keep bouncing off of something like that, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's probably a little bit flatter, in all honesty. I like to go basic candles for the most part, and it's just going to look like a slow grind until something actually jumps in here and really hammers it home. I think getting above that $5 is going to be probably the first hurdle of really being able to see some momentum come back into the play, because that is going to be psychological, and we saw it get rejected pretty hard right there. So we're going to just watch and see what happens from here, and we will keep an eye on it. I'll be back with an update video for you guys at the end of the day, or if I see anything crazy going on during midday, I'll pop in with a video. But all in all, I think we got those couple weeks of relief, so let's just see what happens with these couple of weeks. And just keep an eye on it. Make sure the trend's going in your favor. Always watch your accounts, have your stop losses in place, or at least a mental stop loss, and just try to go from there. Thank you guys for coming back and watching another one. Stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.